Hello everybody, today I'm drawing Scarlet Overkill and the Minions, Kevin, Stuart, and Bob from the upcoming movie Minions. I made several mistakes while drawing this picture, and I'm sure I'll address them later when I get to them. But the biggest main mistake that I think I made was just not drawing. Like, I don't know, this week I just haven't felt like drawing. I just felt like there was these other things that I should be doing or I wanted to be doing, like doing nothing. I don't know, I just had these urges to do nothing, and I had to fight them tooth and nail to get this picture drawn. But for the most part, yeah, I rushed this picture. I rushed it very hard. But I did get it done, and I think there's a bit of a positive side to that, you know, even though you didn't really feel like it, you were able to do it anyway. And sometimes I don't advise to do things when you really don't want to do them unless you know that you have to in some way, and I feel like I owe it to you guys at this point, where, I mean, there's enough of you where I feel like if I didn't, you know, give you what I've promised you, like a video every week, then like someone might be upset about it. And so I used that as a reason, and my other reason was, like, you know, for myself, like, I want to keep drawing, I want to draw every day so I can get better. And so it was for you and for me, so I was a little bit selfish, but also for you. And I managed to get this done just in the nick of time. Like, it has to go up pretty soon, but I'll have it up. That'll be great. Video this week. Anyway, yeah, I was using references for Scarlet Overkill, who I'm very excited. I think she's gonna be pretty cool, even though she's kind of the bad guy of the movie, I think. I don't know. Haven't seen the movie yet. But yeah, that's coming out in a week or so, at least here in the US. Oh, I'm drawing Bob right now. I couldn't decide on Bob's pose. I ended up giving him the splits, kind of doing the splits kind of thing in the front, because I wanted the Minions to be like running around her, driving her nuts, because it's kind of the impression I got from the trailer. They kind of like turn on her or something. So I wanted them to be driving her nuts, and I went with the pose where they're like running in a circle around her. And then Bob was up in front, and I wanted him to be doing something a little bit funnier because he's Bob. And so I decided to put him in the splits. And yeah, I think that worked out pretty well. Also, I think, oh yeah, there's another mistake. So it's more prevalent later when I do the liner, but because Bob's in front of Scarlet Overkill, I didn't want to erase her legs because I wasn't sure if I was going to need them later. So what I did was just fill behind that sketch layer. So behind the Bob sketch layer, I filled it in white, and those two layers were both in front of the Scarlet Overkill's layers. So you couldn't see through Bob to Scarlet's legs. I did that again with the line art for when I'm drawing the line art because I didn't want to be able to see her legs through it because it was really confusing and I couldn't keep track of what lines went to what body parts, and it was it was quite confusing. So I did that, and in the end, since I was running out of time, so the rushing thing did force me to make this mistake, I decided to just merge all the layers and make it one thing of line art to just color later, but I didn't get rid of the white squares because, well, if I hadn't gotten rid of the white squares, I would have had to erase parts again or use the layer mask or something, but I didn't really have time, so I just decided to leave the white layers. And because of that, I wasn't able to color the line art later because I rushed it so much. So on the line art layer, they were already colored in white, and it's probably really confusing if you don't do digital art. But so to color it, I usually use a layer underneath the line art and then color that so that the line art is on top. But since the line art was technically already colored in white, I couldn't put the color underneath it unless I set the line art layer to multiply, which takes all the darkest colors and multiplies them onto the bottom layers. And because they were colored in white, the white becomes transparent and I'm able to color it. But because of that, you can't really color in the line art with another color, or it's going to go over the whole thing because you can't lock the transparent pixels, and it's just a whole bunch of confusing, and I didn't have time for that. So I just decided to just color it in nice and flat and not use any colored line art. I don't really like the way it looks because of that. I really want to color the line art of her nose, because when it comes to like facial features, I like to color the line art because it makes it seem much less harsh, and her nose just seems way too harsh to me, and I don't really like the way that turned out. I like her nose because this is like cool triangle, and I just don't really like the way it turned out because I had to draw it that way. But yeah, hopefully that made sense. Like, if you've done digital art, you might understand what I'm saying, and if not, hey, welcome to the digital art world and of confusion and random layers and colors and stuff. I still love digital art, but it can be a little confusing at times. It's really hard to explain. I feel like you need the visuals. Anyway, I'm now doing the line art of Stuart, and I had a really hard time getting those lines to be like straight for his body because they're such an interesting shape. It kind of reminds me of back when I used to follow back on the old VeggieTales DVDs. They had like how to draw the different VeggieTales, and I used to follow those. Like I had a little portable DVD player, and I'd sit on my bed and taught myself how to draw VeggieTales that way. And it really reminded me of those days because it's very simple shape. They're always like, start with a peanut shape when you draw Larry. So that was, yeah, memories. Drawing their goggles was very difficult. Like trying to get something that looked like a circle. I mean, it kind of looks like a circle. I tried to keep as much of the design in it as possible, but it still ended up being very simple. Well, I wanted to keep it simple because I was running out of time, one, and two, because complicated things are hard to draw. So I tried to keep it simple, but keep it to look like their goggles. And I noticed that they have these like little bumps that go around it, and then they have a little bevel that goes around as well. So I drew the bevel and then the bumps, and I feel like it really helped them look more like goggles than glasses. So I think that turned out really well. Oh, and here's Bulb again. He was the one who's going to eat this banana. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, drawing those goggles again, and then drawing his corn pop puff shape, and giving him his overalls. And then, of course, I gave him the splits because I couldn't decide on a pose, like I said earlier. I love their outfits. They're so cute. The little suspenders. They're great. Are you a fan of the Minion movie? Well, the Despicable Me movies. They're not like my favorite movies in the world, but like the Minions kind of like make it alright for me. I don't know what it was, like everyone was just obsessed with Despicable Me when it came out, and I don't know, I watched it and it just wasn't my thing, but I definitely see the enjoyment in it, even if I wouldn't watch the movies like multiple times. But you know, some movies are just better that way. I don't know, let me know if you like those movies. Which one's your favorite? Do you like, well, after the movie comes out, you can be like, do you like Despicable Me 2, or the Minions movie better? I think that'd be a cool discussion. And then I'm giving them all the black filling. Well, I'm coloring it actually. I'm so out of it right now. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah, coloring in black. Oh, there was a lot of black in this picture because Scarlet's hair, her gloves, her shoes, her tights, their gloves, and their boots. And then their goggles, the little straps are black. So there's a lot of black, so that got done really fast. Like, coloring took the least amount of time than anything else in this picture, just because there's only, like, let's see, there's yellow, blue, red, black, and then her skin color. So there's only, like, 5 colors in this picture. So coloring was very, very fast, as I said. And then coloring in her lips. Oh, her lips are pink, but whatever. They took a few seconds. And then after that, I realized I didn't color in their goggles, so I just did that really quick. I actually used a very light blue color and then a darker grayish blue for the shading in the goggles. And to make it look more like a shiny material, like a metal, I just added these lines that look like reflections. Well, like I don't know what that's called. I've just seen it in places, so I do it and it looks cool to me, so I do that. Anyway, here's the finished illustration. So we got Kevin, Stewart, Bub, and Scarlet Overkill. I'll be seeing this movie. Let me know if you're going to be seeing the Minions on July 10th, I think it is. Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. You can check out some of my other videos if you'd like, and I'll see you guys all next week. Oh, and if you're in America, like, happy 4th of July. That's this weekend. Light up some fireworks. Blow some stuff up in the honor of your country. Okay, yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye!